Hi friends, welcome back to the channel. In this video, I'm going to talk you through some of the secrets of both feeling and appearing to be more self-confident. As someone who spends their entire living standing in front of people, presenting, speaking, performing, and also putting myself out there on the internet making content like this, I get asked all the time how I have the confidence to do so. But the truth is, honestly, I'm not a naturally confident person, which sounds a little strange, but is absolutely true. But being someone that was into magic, I ended up being surrounded by other performers who did have that self-confidence and who were able to perform and to stand up in front of a group. And I saw those people and I just wanted to be able to do it. I definitely saw it as more of a skill, as like a thing that I wanted to be able to do. And I thought to myself, if they can do it, so can I. So I just put myself out there, I worked in it, and over the years, I gradually built up my self-confidence, which not only allows me to get up on stage and perform in front of people, but also definitely feeds into my real life as well, in the way that I interact in social situations and the like. So with that in mind, I'd love to share with you all my 6 top tips for improving your self-confidence. For me, the first step is to actually acknowledge the importance of self-confidence. As I said, I wasn't always confident, but I was never shy either. If I had to get up in front of people and do a presentation or a talk, then I absolutely could. But if I didn't feel like I had to, I'd avoid it at all costs. Once I got interested in performing and getting up in front of people though, I realized that self-confidence is really a necessary skill in order to do that. I realized the value in this skill not only in the performing career that I wanted to have, but also in other areas of my life too. How having a little bit of self-confidence and a little bit of belief in yourself and portraying that self-confidence to other people will really get people on your side, make them more interested and more comfortable around you, and will allow you to become a bit more of a leader in whatever it is that you do. Acknowledging that self-confidence is an invaluable tool to your success is a really important first step so that you can really push yourself to learn it. Next, I think it's really important to understand that confidence isn't universal. Being confident doesn't necessarily apply to every aspect of your life in one go. You know, you can be really confident in one thing, but really not confident in another. For me, I think of it like a sliding scale. When I'm up on stage performing, I am super confident because I've practiced, I've rehearsed, I feel at home there. That's what I love doing. But if you stick me in a room with complete strangers, especially if those strangers all know each other already, I am not the most confident person in the world. Understanding that and realizing that confidence isn't universal, it doesn't apply to everyone in all situations all of the time, is a really important step because it makes you realize that you can't be confident all the time. It's just not how human beings work. But it also means that when you find things that you're confident in or situations that you're confident in, you can really take advantage of them. My next tip is to fake it until you make it. This is a piece of advice that I sometimes struggle with because I think that you shouldn't oversell yourself necessarily if you literally don't have the abilities or the skills to pull off what you're promising. But when it comes to confidence, confidence is something that you observe. You see it in other people. And if you think about it, you can't tell the difference as a human being between someone that's pretending to be confident or someone that actually is confident. The exception to this is when you see someone that's overconfident, you can tell that that's maybe a little fake or a little false. But if you start to pretend to be a little bit more confident, just think of yourself as more confident, then over time you will learn lessons from that on how to actually be more confident. And look, if we're really being honest, most of us are just kind of faking it anyway. We're just sort of making it up as we go along. So why not just make it up as you go along while also being confident? Leading on from that, my next tip is to change your mindset around confidence. I truly believe that confidence is something you can learn. A lot of people might struggle with self-confidence because they will think of themselves as not a confident person. They will think, I'm just not confident, that's just not who I am. But if you change the thinking up a little bit, if you link the idea of confidence to your identity of the kind of person that you think you are, then you'll find that you'll become a lot more confident as a result of that. It's a really simple tweak in mindset that will make a massive difference. This concept of changing your habits of the way you behave by changing the way you think of yourself or your identity is a concept that I learned from the book Atomic Habits by James Clear. He basically says that if you think of yourself as a confident person, then you no longer have to pretend to be a confident person because you are one, because that's how you've identified yourself. If you link the behaviors that you want to do in real life to the way that you think about yourself as a human, then they no longer become effort because that's just who you are. If you wanted to learn a little bit more about this concept, I recommend reading his book in full. It is amazing. I also created a video summary of my favorite parts of it that you can watch. I will leave a link to it on the video here. But genuinely, it's a great book, an absolute must read. Tip number 5 to improve your self-confidence is to get really good at your thing. When it comes down to it, the better you are at something, the more confident you are in yourself with something, the more confident you will seem to everyone else. For me, that's why I feel the most confident on stage, because I am super prepared. I know that I've practiced, I know that I've rehearsed, I know what I'm gonna say, I know what's gonna happen next, I'm in complete control, and that's because I've really put the work in to be like that on stage. If you know your stuff, if you're passionate about the thing that you're doing, it will come across to people. They will have confidence in you because they can feel it, they can sort of smell it coming off of you. But when you know your stuff, when you prepare the thing that you're good at and do it really well, not only will you be confident during the performance of that thing, whether it's actually performing or whether it's taking a class or whether it's riding a bike or whatever it might be, but that confidence really seeps out into other areas of your life surrounding it too. And finally, in order to improve your self-confidence, in my opinion, you have to take leaps. A wise man once said, "Leap first and the net shall appear." I think he's dead now, but it's a good piece of advice anyway, I think. But seriously, in order to be more confident, you have to take leaps. You have to be the first person to say yes to something, to take action on something. Think of yourself as a leader. Think of yourself as the person who's always gonna go first. Do the things that make you feel just a little bit uncomfortable. Push yourself outside your comfort zone, and the more you stretch yourself, the more you push yourself outside your comfort zone, the bigger your comfort zone will be, and the more confident you will appear to be as a human being. Ultimately, self-confidence is a journey. We all start somewhere, and we all have to build it up slowly in our own way, doing our own thing in our own environments. That being said, I believe self-confidence absolutely is a skill that anyone can learn. No matter what your starting point is, no matter how shy you might be right now, you can always improve it just by putting in a little bit effort, getting yourself outside your comfort zone a little bit, and just build it up a little bit by a little bit. And trust me, you will notice the difference in no time. As I said, when I started performing, before I went professional, I was not confident at all. I wasn't very good, to be quite honest with you. And that's all part of the journey. You've got to start somewhere, and if you don't start, you'll never finish. If you enjoyed this video or any of the tips in it, then please consider hitting that big red subscribe button. As always, stay awesome, and I will see you in the next one.